Ever wondered what a day in the life of a software developer really looks like? In today's video, we'll follow Jamie through her workday, bugs, coffee, and some useful vocabulary along the way. Let's dive in.
Hi, my name is Jamie. I'm 25 years old and I currently work as a software developer for a bank in Manchester. Although I enjoy my job, today brought a few unexpected moments that made it more interesting than usual. As always, I started my day at 7 a.m. with a strong cup of coffee, followed by a quick shower, and my usual routine. Our dress code is quite relaxed, so I threw on some jeans and a jumper before heading to the office. I arrived around 8:45, just in time for our daily stand-up meeting, where each team member briefly explains what they are working on. I mentioned I'd be tackling a couple of bugs in the payment system, a task that, on the surface, seemed straightforward, but I had a feeling it might turn out to be more complicated than expected. Once the meeting ended, I got straight to work. One particular bug was proving difficult. It had to do with a date format mismatch that caused certain transactions to fail. I spent over an hour investigating, but eventually managed to pinpoint the issue and fix it. It was satisfying, and I treated myself to a second coffee as a small reward. Around 1 p.m, our team went out for lunch at a cafe nearby. It was part of a team-building initiative organised by our manager. Normally, I'm not a big fan of these kinds of activities, but the atmosphere was relaxed, and we ended up enjoying ourselves. We even took part in a short quiz, which led to a lot of laughter. In the afternoon, I had a video interview for a position at a tech startup. I'm not actively looking to leave my current role, but I'm open to new opportunities, especially those that offer more flexibility and innovation. The interview was informal. It was more of a first conversation with the recruiter to see if there was a good fit. It went fairly well, I think, but time will tell. First, the interviewer usually starts by introducing the company and the role. Then we talk about the projects I've worked on, the programming languages I'm comfortable with, and my general experience. In a follow-up interview, a developer from the team typically gives me a few small problems to solve, either during the call or in a shared coding environment. Afterwards, I went back to my regular tasks. I reviewed a colleague's code, made some final adjustments to my own, and pushed the updates to our main branch. Before logging off, I joined a short meeting about a new feature we're planning to roll out next month. It sounds ambitious but also exciting. I finished work around 6:15 p.m, feeling both mentally tired and professionally fulfilled. Not every day offers this balance between productivity, collaboration, and personal growth, but today did. Now I'm home, cooking a simple meal and planning to unwind with a film. Working as a software developer can be intense, but I genuinely find it rewarding. And for now, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Let's learn the important vocabulary. Every 7 words, I'll ask if you remember one of them. Ready?
Although used to contrast two ideas or situations. Although I enjoy my job, today brought a few unexpected moments. To bring something, to cause something to happen or appear, Today brought a few unexpected moments. To throw on clothes, to put on clothes quickly and casually. I threw on some jeans and a jumper before heading to the office. To head to go in the direction of a particular place. I headed to the office just before 9 a.m. Stand-up meeting. A short team meeting where people briefly share updates. We had our daily stand-up meeting to review our progress. To tackle a task or a problem. To deal with something difficult or challenging. I spent the morning tackling a few bugs in the payment system. Straightforward, simple or easy to understand. It seemed straightforward at first, but it turned out to be more complex. To head to go in the direction of a particular place. I headed to the office just before 9 a.m. To turn out to be, to happen in a particular way, or to have a specific result. It might turn out to be harder than I thought. Once something happens, as soon as something is completed. Once the meeting ended, I got straight back to work. To get straight back to something. To return to an activity without delay. I got straight into debugging after the call. To prove to be difficult, useful, etc. To show a certain characteristic or result over time. That bug was proving difficult to isolate. Mismatch. A situation where two things do not match or fit together. There was a mismatch in the date formats. To pinpoint. To identify something exactly. I finally managed to pinpoint the cause of the bug. To treat oneself to something. To give oneself something enjoyable as a reward. I treated myself to a second coffee after solving the issue. Mismatch. A situation where two things do not match or fit together. There was a mismatch in the date formats. To end up doing something. To do something in the end, often unexpectedly. We ended up having a great time at lunch. To lead to something. To cause a particular result. The quiz led to lots of laughter and conversation. A position, a job or role in a company. I applied for a position at a tech startup. A good fit, someone suitable for a job or team. The recruiter said I seemed like a good fit for their company culture. Fairly, reasonably to a moderate degree. I think the interview went fairly well. Afterwards, after something else has happened. Afterwards, I returned to my tasks and checked my emails. To log off, to end a computer session. I logged off around 6:15, feeling quite accomplished. fairly, reasonably to a moderate degree. I think the interview went fairly well. To roll out a product. To officially launch or introduce something new. We're planning to roll out the new feature next month. Fulfilled. Feeling satisfied because of meaningful work or achievements. By the end of the day, I felt both tired and fulfilled. To unwind. To relax after a period of work or stress. In the evening, I cooked dinner and unwound with a film. Genuinely, honestly and sincerely. I genuinely enjoy what I do, even on some more demanding days. Follow up. A second or additional meeting or action after the first. In a follow-up interview, a developer from the team typically gives me a few small problems to solve. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm completely satisfied with the situation as it is. Working as a developer can be intense, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Follow up. A second or additional meeting or action after the first. In a follow-up interview, a developer from the team typically gives me a few small problems to solve.